Minutes from July 9th.
I make a motion to approve the minutes from July 9th.
Second, I wasn't
I'll
here.
second.
Joe, were you here on the 9th of July?
No.
I was.
We can,
We can, yeah, I,
Aye.
aye.
and you can
And
actually vote if you trust the rest of the commission to have made a wise decision.
United.
Aye.
If you don't, you can just say abstain.
I could abstain, but.
Yeah.
All right, any opposition to that? No. Minutes are approved. For the 23rd of July. Anybody here from Berkshire Gas? Anything?
Nope. Nope.
Valenti on Route 183? No.
Marie,
Laurel Hill Association, Mary Flynn Trail, the bridge.
last time that Kate said that they were reviewing the plans, so.
And Tim emailed me that at our next meeting, at our meeting in August, the person that's designing the.
Okay, so they'll come in
will likely
August.
Be there, here then.
Continued. Pond restoration, 8 Williamsville Road,
They do not have a
DEP.
DEP file number yet, so we're waiting for that.
Continued. Request for a certificate of compliance. 50 Lake Drive. Oh, moving right along here now.
Yeah.
Like it.
Bill and I went.
Okay. So Lisa and Bill did a site visit.
Yep, and I thought it looked good. The plantings we requested were good. The landscaping looked good. We looked at the tree they wanted to take down, that's separate, but that needed to come down. But we both thought it was fine to issue the certificate of compliance. I don't know if you want to.
Yeah, I mean, just for the record, I'm Brian Sider representing Sean Landa, who's the owner, 50 Lake Drive. So they did that new house and septic system on Stockbridge Bowl. And we had requested a certificate of compliance a few months ago, but the plantings weren't done. So they went back, they put in the 3 river birch and 3 red maple and a spruce tree that was proposed on the plan, so that's all been done. They're just seeking. There's some compliance for all that work now.
I think when we looked before, there were things in pots along that stone.
They were supposed to be in front of the stone.
Everything.
Yeah,
That's right. They also planted along the front of the stone wall, like
So that
shown.
was better. Yeah. So we were fine with it.
Okay.
Okay, we'll move to issue a certificate of compliance and close the hearing for 50 Lake Drive.
So you want,
Second.
no, you
Want to
can.
make a motion? I make a motion to issue a certificate of compliance and close the public hearing for 50 Lake Drive.
I'll second
I
that.
didn't actually do that. I said we need a motion.
Okay.
All in
It's
favor?
okay.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Kathy? Aye. Well, we have to do a
Boys.
voice vote.
Aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
So you also have the tree removal request there for the same.
Yes, which I just made copies of. I signed it, gave it to Brian.
Great.
So we're all good to go on that. You signed it, I signed it. So we're good.
Okay, we have RDA for 1 Ice Glen Road, barn renovations. Oh, we get that big paperwork out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I was there for the certificate of compliance on the 3 Ice Glen. The thing that mostly what they're doing is interior and exterior and not landscaping, from what I understood. The thing that we needed from Brian was the letter from the actual owner saying that it was okay for them to do what they were asking to do.
Yes, so like you said, the barn renovations, it's essentially just, this is the existing barn facade on the side facing the wetland. And they're just gonna redo the dormers and put new cladding on it. So it's very minimal exterior renovations, most of it's interior. But it does fall within the buffer zone. So we're just seeking a negative determination that says this won't be impactful to this BVW that's downhill of the lawn. We're proposing erosion controls along the edge of that lawn. So there's no changes in here. It's lawn with the gravel driveway to the backside of the barn. And that signature, I knew I forget something today, but I do have it. I just sent it to you. So, I mean, it's a little small to read, but Jessica Fenwick is the technical owner. So, Peter Wild signed it as the applicant. But so I don't know how you want to do that. I mean,
The dimensions of,
with the
dimensions-
condition that we give you the signature at a later time.
We believe you, Brian.
I do have it, so. And it's because it's owned under a trust, so she's the trustee. But that about sums it up. Again, it's all within the existing barn footprint, so.
we need a motion to,
I'll make the motion
Let's
to
see.
issue a negative determination on this project.
all in favor?
Aye.
Ron, aye.
Hi, Lisa.
Aye, Chuck.
Kathy, aye. Aye. Okay.
Thank you very much.
It'd have been an all-time fast meeting.
Nothing wrong with that.
10 minutes, we're done. We have some just, but
Okay.
you sure you don't want to bring anything up again?
Okay, anything in the future we don't know about yet?
I don't think so right now. For Stockbridge, the one back on six.
We have a couple jurisdictionals to sign.
You signed the one already, and they scanned it, so I guess it's gone forward.
Which one was that one?
2 Castle Hill Road.
Oh, yeah.
They wanted to replace the screen porch with a 24 by 24 attached
First
garage.
house on the right, going up the hill. Gonna put a garage in. They're up down the hill,
Jurisdiction.
fine. Campusa Brook,
So I think Karen is the one who knows the most about that.
So last week, we live on one side of the brook and the Bradshaws live on the other side. And last week, my husband and I get up every morning, we have coffee on a little porch overlooking the brook. The brook was virtually at a standstill. A standstill. We walked down there, we couldn't believe it. There wasn't a drop of water coming down. I called Rich. He said, what? He said it was slow yesterday, but I said, Rich, it is dead stopped. It's like somebody up the hill did something to stop the water. Meanwhile, Larry, my husband, had gone up and walked up the hill, and he started looking. And sure enough, the people who bought the house where the old mill is, the water wheel, the big water wheel, we've never met them. And Larry started walking up his driveway, and the gentleman came out and he said, can I help you? And Larry said, well, we're noticing down the hill that the water has ceased flowing. And Larry said, can I walk back here with you and see what's going on your property? And he wouldn't let Larry even walk on the property. And somebody else, Rich actually said that years ago, the people who had lived there had put in a pond of some kind, and they were controlling. They used to fill it and then, fill it and when it needed water and empty it. Now, I've never been back there, at all since the new people bought it. But there are ponds that people have made, man-made. They're not made by nature. I'm sure of it. And anyway, so Rich said something to him, and then we were concerned also because going down right in front of our house, heading into Lee, where there's the bridge, you know, over the road. And we could walk all the way underneath. Rich and I both walked down there, and we could see, unfortunately, that there's tremendous erosion under the road now. And
In the culvert.
in the culvert,
Is the culvert stone or?
it's an old stone
Uh,
culvert.
But is that two separate issues in your mind?
Well, now it is, now that it's all been brought to my attention. Rich wrote a letter, I believe, and I think he sent it to you too, didn't he, Sally?
Yeah.
Yeah. And supposedly they came out and looked, but I haven't heard
They who?
anything. The
DOT
DOT
at the culvert.
at the culvert. Because we're concerned about the whole road caving in there. And
They've been
Rich-
talking about that for years and Mass DOT has not been forthcoming
But
at all.
there's a crack, right?
Now there's a crack underneath. Now, when the water is flowing, you can't see a lot of this. But when the water was dead stopped and you walked underneath, which I did, it was frightening to me because I thought the whole road could cave in there.
Yeah. And is there a big tree right over?
Oh, there are a couple of big trees.
Right on top of it.
We have trees there. And right before we bought the house, a big tree fell across the pond.
Yeah.
And the previous owners had to remove it before we closed on the house. We couldn't get into our driveway. But what's very concerning to me is the fact that I'm sure it's illegal for somebody
It's
to be fooling around
absolutely illegal.
with the water up there. And there's no doubt in my mind that they are. And my husband Larry said when he wouldn't let Larry come on to take a look, Larry was convinced. He said they definitely were doing something up there or have done it.
And then did it come back on?
Oh, yeah, it started flowing, trickling, and now it's flowing again. Now, of course, we hadn't had much rain, but even with very little rain, the brook never was dead stopped. Rich said in all his life, you know, of living here, he had never, ever seen that.
So probably what they did is there was a dam of some sort, whatever was there back in place, so it held the water back, and once it filled,
Yep.
the water started to flow again.
Now, what's the law with trespassing in streams? Is it like rivers where you can walk up them as long as you're in the water?
I don't know the answer to that.
Because certainly with a river, you're allowed to go, you know, right up it as long as you're in the water.
It's a river. Campusa Brook is a river.
It is a river.
It is a
I believe you can, as long as you don't walk on the man's land, you're allowed to walk right up the waterway. Not that I'm suggesting that if you don't want to, but
Well,
So it's a 200-foot, you know, it's a 200-foot jurisdiction to the Campusa Brook because it's a perennial stream and it's a named perennial stream. It's a river and under Mass law.
okay.
But at this point, if they removed whatever was blocking it, you can't really prove it, right?
Well,
No, we can't. But do you know the address?
The water wheel house.
it's the,
But the address.
no, I don't know the number offhand, but I'll get it tomorrow.
You get it.
I walk by there every day.
You get the address for me, I will write them a letter saying it appears, you know, something tactful, like it appears that something that you were doing on your property may have altered the flow of the Campusa Brook. And just, you should know that this is not permitted under the Wetlands Protection Act and in fact is a violation. And we don't have to bring them in. We don't have to.
In the event that you did something.
Yeah, if you did, you really must not ever do that again.
But they've built something. I mean, I saw what they did when they weren't, because they're not here all the time.
Yeah,
So I walked on the property and I saw what they've done.
where's your address?
I have a little bit to say about this too.
okay.
I saw the email that came in, I think.
Yeah, from Rich.
Sent it.
Yeah.
Somebody.
Yeah, I forwarded.
So I took a ride up and it was noontime of that day. And and I drove in where Spencer had that bridge across
Yeah,
to the next property up from the water wheel.
yeah.
The water was flowing there. And it was flowing. I looked only at that area. So
So the house above was fine.
So,
houses, it was flowing then, but it was noontime. It might have all been flowing further down.
so whatever impediment was there and had been open, they probably closed again, filled, overflowed, and started the brook again.
We have a little further history on this sort of a situation. When Glendale Power Dam, they used to work on it and shut it down and stuff like that. And they caused the water in the Housatonic after their little dam to stop flowing. And then it would suddenly start flowing again. And they were required to maintain a 10% run of river, is what they called it. And no matter what, that was a minimum. So you have to keep it flowing.
You have to keep it
In
flowing.
recent time, they've had to shut the hydro part down because there wasn't enough water.
But they have to bypass it somehow.
Somehow, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, they have a bypass.
But there's an actual figure put on that, 10%. I remember that.
Yeah.
Who oversees that, do you think? DEP?
No, I don't know.
I think they got the message.
Yeah, well,
But a letter would be,
They complied right away.
yeah,
Yeah, they did.
I'm sure they'd get slapped real hard if they,
Yeah, that would be this would be a huge hairy deal if somebody is stopping the flow of this river. So I will write them when we discover who it is, who's the landowner, the homeowner.
do you know the name of the people?
No, I don't.
Do you know their
Check.
address?
No, not their exact number. I will get it
Come up with the
tomorrow.
address and
I
we'll,
will get it tomorrow morning.
All
I'll
right.
get it
Because I
tomorrow.
can print out the property map, and that has all the information of who the contact is.
Yeah.
And I'll write them a letter and tell them that this is highly illegal and they can't do that anymore if they have been doing.
yeah, they
something.
can't completely, if they want to fill their little pond, but they can't completely stop the flow of water.
Right, exactly.
Well, you're not permitted, I don't think, and correct me if I'm wrong, if you can't just go into a brook or a stream on your property if it's
yeah, I don't think you
And
can.
put-
It's a violation.
No, you can't build a dam,
and build a dam,
No.
correct?
No,
but it may be something that was there when the water wheel has been there. It's new.
Oh, well, if they created, so they made the pond?
They fooled around with what was there before they bought the house. There's no doubt about it. I mean,
It's the water.
I know because the house was on the market for a while. And we all, when we walked, it was for sale for quite a while. And it's a beautiful renovation and a beautiful home.
We were in there for something.
yeah, we
We
did.
were in there for something.
It was a while ago.
Yeah, quite a while.
After it was renovated or before?
No,
Mm-hmm.
Well, they were doing the renovation because, of course, they're right on the river.
Right.
Yeah.
I was
They
not
were doing
aware.
some landscape down the slope.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're looking at the
Yeah.
old rocks and everything. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, they can't do that. And on a similar note, the letter that we wrote to, I think I forwarded it to everybody, regarding the herbicide use on the side of Brookside. They wrote back and said they would not do it anymore.
Okay.
So-
I don't think I saw that letter.
Okay.
Can you send it?
Find it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I see it. Good,
So that's,
great.
at the bank there, the hillside, one of the trees, big trees.
Yep.
Hmm,
so they responded right away and said,
Okay.
whoops,
Good.
sorry, we won't do it again.
Good. Now that everything's
dead.
dead.
Well, it'll grow back.
Okay.
Anyway, so, all right. So once I get that information, I'll write a letter.
The water wheel house, that big house, it's up. It's further out.
And we got I got in touch with Amir Raza.
No.
on the railroad issue?
Great agricultural forestry.
Oh, okay.
So, farmer's market opens tomorrow.
Oh, cool.
Farmer's market opens tomorrow. Go if you can. Hopefully it's not gonna rain. 3 to 6 behind town hall, starting very small,
I'm gonna go on.
kind of as a
Here?
pilot.
Over there.
Starting really small, but it's starting. So check it out, support them. And
Go after yoga.
go after, yeah, you can go after yoga. No, yoga's Thursday, isn't it? Tomorrow's Wednesday.
Oh, go after.
Go way before yoga. Go to-
No, I can't, I won't be, I probably won't be able to go unless I get out of work early.
Okay, well, it's 3 to 6. And then, I sent out the notice for the conference, so.
Right.
Come to that too if you can.
So on the railroad, I heard from Amar Raza and he sent us contact for Mass DOT, which I forwarded to David. So David will figure that out. And I also had sent stuff to Mark Stinson regarding 20 Wheatley. And he said he didn't see any violation
Okay,
of the superseding order. They did not, however, have the DEP sign out front, so I don't know whether he's going to talk to them about that. I asked him again about whether he thought that they had exceeded the 10,000 square feet. I did alert Kathleen McCormick, who's the trustee, that was possibly something that they needed to file for. And I got a response saying that she was out of town. So
and Mark didn't know if it was greater than 10,000.
I don't know. I asked him, but I haven't heard back from him yet. It was just recent
Okay,
that I heard from him.
Land acquisition. Did we talk to? Who did we talk to?
Well, the one piece of property, clearly, we can't get our hands on, which is
No.
really a bummer, because I really wanted that property. But now, since they're about to develop it, that's done.
Keep an eye on it, make sure they do things
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
We haven't gotten any paperwork or anything on it yet.
And well, it's a superseding order, so it's not in our hands anymore. I asked Mark if he could get a hold of the superseding order and send it to us, but it's DEP's hands now.
okay.
And I asked him if we could review it, and I don't know what the answer to that is either.
And David was in on it at the beginning, so he. probably
David can't be a part of it,
No.
unfortunately.
Any other business? We need a motion.
Make a motion to close the public hearing.
I second
Second.
it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Record. That's our record.
Yeah,
Put this on your calendar.
7:20, wow,
wow.
all right,
I'm going to look to the rest.
Okay.
Send it right to you.
okay, cool.